So, good afternoon. It is the 14th of August and it's just gone 1:15. I'm Dave Geddes and I will be assessing Andy on his practical elements of his assessment at the moment for manual handling. I'll just ask everyone else to introduce themselves quickly.
Hi, I'm Andy Edwards, Fireground Technician, Training and Development Centre.
Hi, I'm Pete Eastland. I work for Dorset and Wiltshire. I'm here to support Andy in his assessment.
Okay, thank you both. So Andy's going to be the person being assessed today, and Pete's going to assess him or assist him within the second part of the assessment criteria. Before we start, I just want to get visual. Before we started the camera, I asked you both if you were all right to be recorded. Can you just confirm that you're happy for me to record you in this process?
Yes, that's fine.
Yep,
Yeah,
brilliant.
no problem too.
Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to be conducting work observation today, and we're going to start off by me just making you aware of what's being assessed. So for Pete, just so you're aware of where Andy is, and Andy, just to remind you as well, we were looking at we were looking at the level 2 award in moving people safely. We've completed we'll be doing unit 1, where there's a number of Q&A questions on there as well, which I'll ask you just as we're undertaking these tasks, just to test your underpinning knowledge. But you've also, as part of that, completed. Thank you, Pete. You've also completed Unit 2, which was the learner statement, which was about understanding how manual handling risk assessments contribute to improving health and safety. So you've already completed that, and you've evidenced a lot of information within there, so thank you very much for that. But what I'll do is I'll just ask you a few supplementary questions as we're going around doing the practical elements now. What we are then going to move on to is the practical aspects of it, which are Unit 4. And the criteria for that, which was to be able to apply safe manual handling principles. So the first part of there is about demonstrating efficient and safe manual handling principles when you're applying effort to or moving a load or object manually alone. Okay, so this is about you moving an object on your own, Andy. And then the second criteria, which is where Pete comes into it, is once we've done the first part, you moving stuff on your own, we'll ask Pete to help you out there, and we'll have an object there. So Pete, just so you're aware of what's going on there. And manual handling as part of a team, so between the pair of you moving an object around for me there safely and effectively. Okay, both happy with that?
Yeah.
That's the assessment criteria, what we're going to be going for. Before we start though, we are in a drill yard. It is a working environment, so I'll just make you aware of the health and safety requirements for this site. There is a risk assessment which covers a drill yard. It's recently been updated. But the only real thing to add to it, apart from the obvious slips and trips and the uneven concrete surfaces that we've got here, there are no planned vehicle movements in and around here, but we do have a problem with nesting seagulls at the moment, and they do like to attack people. So as we're moving around there seems to be quite quiet at the moment there, but if they start to become an issue, we'll stop the assessment, we'll deal with that problem, and then we'll go back and restart it again at that point. Okay? When we come to the team movement, or the movement of items as a pair, what we'll probably look at doing, or what we will do, is we'll look at moving a drill dummy as well, so one of the ones in the firehouse. Andy, because of your pre-existing shoulder injury and not wishing to then cause that to reoccur, and also with the point you've identified to me about your hip and stuff like that, there is a drill dummy in there. It is of a lighter weight. It's the same size as a normal drill dummy, but it's of a lighter weight. So what we'll do is we'll use that one there, so that we're just removing the amount of load down. And I just wanted to see you demonstrating the techniques to me about you and Pete working together to lift the object. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Brilliant. Have you got any questions about what we're going to do?
Not at the moment, no.
No?
So I'm not involved in the first bit. Would you like me to record for you?
That would be really helpful. Pete, that'd be lovely. Yeah, that'd be lovely. So if I turn that camera around there for you, mate, and thank you. No problem at all. Okay, so Pete, if you take over recording now, and what I'd like to see there is just talk me through one of the main tasks you've got. And I know that we're in a position here where we've got the firehouse and we've got.
One of the main tasks that I have to do is, because of our fire training with live fires, is loading our fire cribs in the firehouse. Majority of the time it's using clean wooden pallets for this exercise. We have a pallet over here which I have to move over here to the firehouse in a safe manner. Okay. Looking around, making sure there's no obstacles or problems in my way.
Brilliant.
Making sure I've got the right PPE.
Fantastic. So what would be really helpful, Andy, is just explain to me what you're doing, and explain to me how you would follow that through on a normal day-to-day basis of moving those pallets into the firehouse and then moving the firehouse.
The way we have some pallet trucks, and obviously this is tested regularly as well, and I inspect that first before I use it. And I use the trucks to transport pallets over to the firehouse to save injuring myself with the long carrying over to the firehouse. I then take one pallet off at a time and I load it into the fire cribs using the fire crib as a rest and only lifting one edge of the pallet up, so I'm not taking the full weight to cause myself an injury.
Fantastic. You talked about testing the equipment. Why do we test it?
For a health and safety reason, all equipment is calibrated to a certain level of weight it can lift, and we have to manually inspect our equipment on a regular basis and make sure that no defects have appeared on this and it's still safe to use.
Do you remember what those regulations are called?
Off the top of my head, no, I can't.
No, that's no problem. No problem. We'll come back to those in a bit later on then. But if you do find a defect with the item of equipment, what would you do with it?
I would report that on our system, which is calibrated with a scanner, and all defects are written down and forwarded to the management, which then goes out to a contractor who comes in and repairs or replaces the equipment.
Okay, no problems at all. So, would you carry on using it if it was damaged?
No.
No. Why not?
I wouldn't want to incur any injury to myself or any other personnel around.
Yeah.
In the fire service, it's going to be time off sick.
No problems.
Create more cost for the brigade, which isn't a good thing.
So you mentioned there about people being off sick. What would be the reasons why we'd want to, or what are the potential injuries and ill health issues that we would identify as a result?
It could be strained muscles, ligaments. It could be injuries from not using the right equipment, from dropping items on yourself. So.
About what you've experienced?
Well, with other elements as well. I've experienced it myself with a bad back.
Yeah.
You only get one back for life, so we look after it.
And the longer term health implications, what would you suggest they would be?
Sorry, could you?
The longer term health issues if you've injured yourself?
That can go on for a lifetime with a back injury if not looked after properly, so it's just being careful and using all the safety equipment that we've got and using the right procedures for lifting and manoeuvring objects.
Okay. And as an organisation, if we don't follow health and safety and all those kinds of bits, especially in relation to manual handling, what's the implications towards the organisation?
The implications of the organisation are a visit from probably the health and safety officer and why weren't these safety precautions implemented on the task that was being done.
Any others?
Yeah, it'd be an injury, it'd be time off sick, it'd be other people would be called in to do my job, it's a cost. It's medical expenses, I think that's about it for the brigade.
Okay, no problems at all. No problems at all. Right, let's do enough of talking. Let's do some practical, shall we?
Right.
Yeah, you happy with that?
Yep.
Right on, that's good. That's good then. So you've already described to me how you would move the pallets across. Can you demonstrate this?
Would you like me to take a full load of pallets over or just demonstrate with a few to good purposes?
I think if you can load up with what you've got there, so take across as if you were loading up with crib as it stands at the moment there, and then put some stock outside the door.
Okay, well the first thing is I'll look around the area and make sure that everything is safe. I will use like the tile procedure, which is the task, individual, load and environment, making sure that everything is safe. Nobody is going to be obstructing me. There'll be no hazards on the drill yard, like divots and any other problems. And I will walk up to the equipment and see that everything is there, and I have my PPE on, and I will check that this is stamped. Yes, it is. We've got our number here. Everything is assessed on this. Separately, we use this as our little tab here, saying that it has been tested. I shall now look around before that to make sure that there's no damage done to it since the last time that it was used. I should check it around, make sure there's no obvious faults with it. Check it without any load on, make sure it works. Everything is fine, so I shall now use this equipment. I shall be making sure that I'm not lifting the maximum weight that this is rated to. I should go forward so that I can see where I'm going. Make sure it's moving.
And what's the other benefits of going forwards there, Andy?
I can see where I'm going. I'm not going to go over any trip hazards. And I can see what is the area which I'm going to. And no vehicles or people walking around and causing any problems to anybody else. I should now take this pallet, remove them. I shall now put one pallet in at a time, but checking first that it's not too heavy for me to lift. That is fine, it's under 25 kilos, which is about the maximum which I can lift up to waist height. Rather than lifting, I shall lift up one edge and I shall drag in, say, put any extra strain onto my body. I shall now tilt this up onto one end. Rather than lifting the full weight, what I will actually do is rest this onto the crib, checking around me, make sure nobody's around, and I shall bend down and lift one end only, which would go right up now and then slide into the crate.
Okay.
Obviously the crate is full, so I shall not put that in at the moment.
Okay.
I shall now put this back down safely, bending the knees, protecting the back. Leave that there safely.
Fantastic. Should we step outside into the fresh air a bit there again, Andy?
Should say we should be back.
In relation to the size of the pallets you've got there, if they were quite heavy, how would you deal with that? Would you have a
What we have if the pallets are too heavy, which I can show you these ones over here. We have some red ones there, which is only a water-based colour. What I actually do is stand them up on their end. I put our protective equipment on, goggles, gloves, and they will be cut in half before I move them.
So, in relation to you mentioned earlier on there about tile, the task of the individual
Load and environment.
Yeah, so what are you doing if you're by cutting those pallets in half? What are you mixed up with? What are you reducing?
I'm reducing the weight and injury to myself by moving a heavy load.
Fantastic. You mentioned as well about picking the pallets up and then moving them across here. What would be the issues if you picked up and twisted? Would that be permissible to pick up and twist with a load?
Not of that weight, no.
No.
That could cause a lot of problems again with ligaments, muscles, injuries to the back. So it's not acceptable to do that for myself or anybody else.
More happy you've demonstrated that for there. Have you got anything else you want to tell me, or anything else you want to explain in regards to individual moving of loads for yourself?
Moving loads myself is just a matter of what we said in the beginning of looking after myself and making sure that I've got no injuries will come to me from moving any of the objects which I do, even with standard tests, lifting objects at the fire appliance, making sure that it's the right weight for an individual to do.
You mentioned about the 25 kilos.
25 kilos to waist height. No, if I'm going above that, then I will reduce the weight down to about 10 or 15 kilos.
shall we move on now to the second part of the assessment, which is with you and Pete moving a drill dummy around?
Yes, no problem.
Good that, Pete?
Yep, yep.
If I take the camera back off you there then, mate. Thank you very much. So I'll let you go in first, Andy, and you can obviously explain where we are and what we're going into.
Right. This is our fire building, training building at the training centre, and we have casualties in here which are dummies, and these vary in weight, and it is a general rule for moving the casualties around with 2 people to save imposing any injuries on the individuals. So the majority of our casualties are hung up on some hooks, so they're safely out of the way and not going to be a trip hazard for people. Putting them up on the hooks is a 2-man lift because of the weight, and taking them down is the same thing, a 2-man lift, and moving them around.
Okay, that's brilliant. So Pete, if you're happy there, Andy, if you can lead for me there, and then basically demonstrate everything you just shown there, and then I think what we can do is if we can lower the casualty down, and then if we just bring them out to the outside here, lay them on the floor, and then put them up, and then put them back up onto the hook as a team, that would be sufficient to meet the criteria there.
Right, what I would like to do is we have one casualty in here which I'd like to move out to the open ground, and it is a 2-man lift, and I'd like to talk you through on what we're going to actually do to take him down off of the hook.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'll follow your lead.
Right. Right, first of all, remove one child, which is a lightweight, which is only about 10 kilos. This one is not going to cause you, or shouldn't cause you any problems on your own. Now with this casualty, obviously quite a bit heavier, it is a 2-person lift. And for taking this one down, I recommend that is one hand underneath the shoulder,
Okay.
and take some of the weight with the leg, and you should lift and slide forward, but be prepared for the weight when it comes off the hook.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So I'll put the weight.
Right. Now lower to the ground.
Okay.
Right, now we'd like to take him outside. Now we should have one person on the head end and one person on the feet end, or the legs. I shall go to the front end, and I shall grab underneath the arms, and I would like you to go to the feet and legs and take him from there, bending down safely to lift.
Okay.
And if it is too much, stop, and we'll get extra assistance for this, okay?
Okay, no problem. So just to clarify then, so I'm going to be facing this way,
Yes.
down, legs under my arms, together we'll
We'll
lift
take
them
him out
all.
and we'll place him on the drill,
Okay,
okay?
yeah, no problem. So
Okay.
this is getting in there.
Okay, I'm down, I'm ready. Actually, right, ready, brace, lift.
That's fantastic.
That would be fine. Ready to lower? Yeah. Every time we go.
Brilliant. And I think from that part there, Andy, if we can just repeat that and put him back up on the hook, that'd be brilliant.
Right, I'd like to replace him back where we originally got this casualty from. We will follow exactly the same procedures. And I would like you to take the legs again, and I will take the shoulders. But I would like to walk this one backwards, looking back, because of the way we're going into the building. And I would like you to face the building when you're walking this time. So be aware of any obstruction and pre-warn me, because I am going to be walking backwards. Happy with that?
Okay, yeah, you happy looking backwards?
I am, with your eyes and advising me on anything that might be in the way or when to stop, okay?
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, I'll come back.
Right. yeah, fine. Ready, brace, lift. And is everything clear behind?
Yeah, you're clear behind, nice and steady. About a metre before the door. Slow down there, you've got a little bit of step behind you.
Thank you.
Just a little bit. That's it. And then just watch your head with the hook.
Thank you.
So did you want to
I'll take him down and place him on the floor first, and then we'll brace ourselves and lift him up together, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's all you'll leave.
Okay, ready? Lower.
Mhm.
Right, thank you. Can you brace underneath the arm, please?
Yeah, it's similar as when we went up.
Similar lift.
Okay,
Ready,
on your-
brace, lift. All clear, thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Pete.
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks for demonstrating that. That's very good of you. Very good of you. Very good as well. Very good lifting techniques. Last quick question. If we had to move the drill dummy up on the floors within the firehouse, we had to go up and downstairs, how would you deal with that?
We have an electric winch, and instead of carrying the casualty up the stairs, we shall place this winch upon the first floor, come through some apertures which we will lower the line, and it will come up with an electric winch, which is a lot safer way of dealing with the casualties.
Yeah.
But if the winch is actually broken, then we will manually lift the casualty up the stairs with 2 or 3 personnel.
Yeah. So again, which part of the, go back to your mnemonic we used earlier, the task, the individual load environment, how would you equate that across onto that if you're using multiple people to lift it up the stairs?
I would make sure that the people that are helping me are fit and able to do the job with me,
Yeah.
and have no outstanding injuries which could cause them any problems.
Okay.
If there is any problems, then I will ask for another person to assist me and make sure that all safety protocols are in place.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Pete, for your time there. I think at that point there, what we'll do is we'll stop the assessment, Andy. Should we go and grab a cup of coffee, and then we'll be able to provide you with some feedback with regards to your progress within this unit of health and safety and manual handling.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pete.
Cheers.